Then we have the sort of live food. So tenrecs tend to eat a small amount of either mealworms or locusts, but because there's not a lot of nutritional value in commercially bred insects or mealworms of this type, we would normally coat these with calcium powder. These don't appear to have been coated. There's a lot in there for that little animal to eat. Then we have like a cat biscuit, loads of this left over, so you might be wondering why it's not eaten so much, but the tenrec is nocturnal, so that could be why. It might be that in the morning that's all gone. Temperature's nice and warm in here. Excuse me. Let me stand on the step. And I'm just looking around in here now for any unusual, like I said, signs of blood, yucky feces. She's got a little dirt bath here. There's nothing unusual in there. So overall, the enclosure looks clean, tidy. It is quite warm in here, to be fair. But, and there's no pests, loose locusts or anything like that running around. Tenrecs do go into torpor in the colder months of the year. So that's probably why the enclosure is quite warm. So as I said, we've already removed the tenrec. Now I'm just going to go over and do a basic health check. Putting on some gloves, just to prevent any cross-contamination. I've also got on my scrubs. So tenrecs, as I said, are nocturnal, and they do go into torpor in the colder months of the year. So I'm not expecting this animal to be incredibly active because of the time of day. Just being careful to pick it up, not using a lot of force because it is such a tiny little animal, but I've got to carefully in my grip. So overall body condition of the animal. You sort of want to see these, her thinking, what's happening, why am I out of my cage? She's somewhat curious. I'm saying she because it's been assumed from the breeder that it's a she. Now she's starting to sniff around and see what's going on. You might be able to see a milky secretion coming from her eyes. That is normal behaviour, study books say, for male tenrecs. Not so sure if that's normal for females. We can see the nose. We start with the nose. It's sniffing, wondering what's going on. The whiskers are working. The ears are erect. Just going to have a look and see if there's any discharge coming or evident in the ears. I don't see any. They are tiny little ears. There. The nose is quite long and quite mobile, which is as it should be. And I'm going to see if we can look inside the mouth, because we have got quite a lot of food left. She's not too keen for that to happen. We can try and see inside your little mouth. Not too happy for that, but what I may try and do is feed her some a live locust later, and we'll see if she's got any hesitation in taking that. So then, just looking along the basic body condition, of course the animal is covered in spines, so it's hard to see the skin, but if we look into the skin and around the ears, we can see that the skin does appear to be quite dry. That can be as a result of the air in the enclosure not being humid enough and not enough moisture. And I did say earlier that the enclosure is quite hot, so it may just be too dry. With tenrecs, if their condition is not warm enough, is not humid enough, they will get dry skin around the ears, on the feet and on the tail, and we can see the feet are quite dry as well. So that's something that I would recommend to be looked at with her enclosure. You can also see going down to the feet that the nails are very long. In fact, when I pulled her out of the enclosure, some set of the claws got caught on my jersey, so we're going to see if we might be able to trim her nails in a moment. And then moving back down the body, again, there don't appear to be any quills or spines missing from the Tenrec. On the back feet, again, the nails are very long. The tail should also be covered in spines, which it is. Now, there's no easy way to sex a Tenrec. I found 2 ways. Both are going to be referenced in my document. One is for a DNA swab in the mouth. You can sex them that way, so it's not quite as intrusive. Or the other way is through the rectum, cloaca, because this has a cloaca. So we need to look underneath just to make sure the animal isn't has no lesions underneath the body, and that actually, again, skin is very dry, but there are no lesions. I'm just going to give her a little break here now and set her down so we can wake her up. So we would expect, by the way, Willow is this animal's name, and she's around about 6 months old now. She was brought to the facility at 3 months old. Here we can see she is approximately 15, 20 here, to, I'd say 36. So is that 16 inches, centimeters long, and she weighs 0.16 of a kilogram. An animal fully grown will weigh, just going back to my notes here so I can reference that, 130 to 200 grams, and she'd be 5 to 6.8 inches long. So for her for her age, she seems to be within normal age, weight and length ranges. Just going to scoop her up now. She gave a little charge to the camera, which is good. The last time she was weighed, she was 1.5 kilograms, so she has put on a little bit of weight, and probably grown a little bit as well since I last saw her, so she seems to be growing quite nicely, and she's quite active. Let's just have a look at the underneath and see. We don't see any discharge there from the cloaca. So quite feisty now. She's been out for a while, so we're going to give her a little break and put her back into the house. Her heart's beating quite rapidly.